Okay, so I'll make this fast because I want to get this out there. So there was more Gen 4 prototype data that was leaked. We actually found out that some of the starters, like Turtwig, for example, was actually like a lot different. And there was actually another pinball game that was leaked that was kind of a beta, but they didn't release it yet. So I'm guessing there's a lot of ideas they must have scrapped, and we're still digging through a lot of this stuff. So this is just still debatable, like what we found, what we don't. But I'm still trying to find it on the internet somewhere. But basically, I think what we're going to find out if there are Gen 4 Pokemon leaks, we're going to probably find some more prototype data that, you know, might have been right around Gen 4. A lot of the ideas they might have had. We kind of had some rough sketches based on an early build of Pearl and Diamond, but basically, I do think there's a lot more. Maybe we find some other concept data, but right now this is just to keep anybody's idea out, you know, just before. If there's any more prototype data that anybody hasn't seen yet, we should probably keep an eye on it. But as of right now, we got to keep an eye out, trying to figure out what's going on, because you never know what someone's going to stumble across. And usually when these leaks happen, they're usually somebody's already got it, but they might not have released all of it coincidentally. So whatever's already on the internet, that's up to them. But this stuff just randomly shows up when it does, because, you know, people want to trace their tracks slightly, you know, so it doesn't look like they're the ones that did it. But basically, the way I'm looking at it right now, I do feel like it might be a coincidence they're releasing it because the Gen 4 remakes are coming out. So that might have something to do with it too, but if that is the case, I don't see why they don't just release all of it. From what I understand, what I'm actually hoping for is that we can get some kind of general idea of like what, you know, maybe we can find some because in Gen 4 there was roughly 493 ideas they had. How many more ideas did they scrap? Betamons, Pokemon? We don't know. So once I have a number, I'll go off that, but that's where I want to start with the whole thing, not just the concept datas and the maps that they scrapped, but basically the Sinnoh region basically took place in Japan before they started branching out to other countries. But basically it was like the northeast and northwest side of Japan, mostly north side of Japan, if I got it correct. And then I believe the Sinnoh region was supposed to be like the furthest away from the Johto, the Kanto, and the Hoenn region. The Hoenn region was like more west, and then the Johto region was both in the Kanto, obviously right next to each other. The Johto was west of Kanto and east, and Kanto was east of Johto. But it was basically like the south, like the southern, eastern side of damn mosquitoes. They're basically like the southeastern side of the lower half of Japan. So that basically, the first 4 regions had a huge chunk of Japan, but at the same time, there's still a lot of islands that Japan hasn't been infiltrated on that we might be able to find out about sooner or later. So that would be pretty cool, like, you know, see what kind of beta ideas they had before coincidentally they might expand the lore. Maybe we can figure out more where like Arcturus and Dialga Palkia and Giratina came from, because they say that was the very first original. The Hall of Origins was the very first place that was created in the known universe. So if that is true, then we're still trying to figure out, you know, what shaped around it, and this might give us some more details if we can figure out who Arcturus' parents are, and even beyond that, if somebody can find like more preemptive data like that. So that'd be pretty cool.